Hey everyone, welcome to That's Good Denver. I'm your host Chris Romeo, and today I'll be doing the Week 2 NFL predictions. This is kind of a day late because the Chiefs-Chargers game already happened last night. The Chiefs hung on and won 27-24. And also, I haven't gotten a chance to do the Week 1 recap of the Broncos-Seahawks, where the Broncos lost 17-16 in disappointing fashion, especially with the coaching and the time management at the end of that game. So what I'll do is I'll break down that game in this upcoming week against the Texans and do that into one video sometime next week. Um, but yeah, right now it's kind of late and we're already looking to week 2, so I'll do both those games next week. But yeah, let's get into the week 2 prediction. The reason why I didn't do the week 1 predictions is because, like they didn't change from what I did the off season when I predicted the whole schedule. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, we already saw the Chiefs beat the Chargers 27-24. Mahomes held on. Justin Herbert tried to pull off a late game comeback with an onside kick, but did not quite happen. So our first matchup of Sunday is the Patriots heading into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. This game could definitely go either way. The Patriots offense didn't look good in week 1, and Mitch Trubisky did not look bad at all. It got the Steelers a thrilling win over the Bengals, and that's why I'm taking Pittsburgh at home here. Final score, I think the Steelers win 30-23. It'll come down to the wire, but I think that Steelers defense will hold off Mac Jones, especially at home. Then you got an interesting matchup here: the Colts and the Jaguars. You'd think the Colts would win this, but the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014, and they just tied with the Texans. So, it was a very tough game for me to predict. I'm actually gonna go upset. I think Jacksonville wins by a final score of 23-20. They did it last year to knock Indy out of the playoffs, and I think they can do it here again. Final score is 23-20. Jaguars winning. Colts, are off to a slow start this season. Next game, we got the Jets and the Browns. I think this is an easy one to pick. I'm taking the Browns here. I don't think the Jets are very good, and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt will run all over that Jets defense. I think the Browns win by a final score of 27-10, and start off 2-0 without Deshaun Watson. Then you got the Dolphins and Ravens. This is one of the better games of the week that can definitely go either way. I originally took the Dolphins in upset here, but I'm liking the way the Ravens looked. I like how they looked week 1 against the Jets, and I think I'm actually going to change here. I'm going to take the Ravens. Final score, Ravens 31, Dolphins 24. It could definitely go either way, but I like how Lamar Jackson looks, and I don't think Tua is, quite there yet, or Lamar Jackson is. Then next up, we got the Houston Texans taking on your Denver Broncos. This is going to honestly be a close game, probably. The Texans did not look bad at all against the Colts week 1, even though they blew a 17-point lead, and the Broncos got surprised against the Seahawks and lost that game 17-16 off of Brandon McManus' 64-yard miss and some bad play calling and coaching at the end. Denver is at home. Denver should win this game, and I'll take them to win here. Final score is Broncos 24, Texans 17. It'll come down to the wire, but the Broncos defense will be able to hold off, even though they don't have Justin Simmons right now. I think Russell Wilson has a bounce-back game and gets the job done. Next game, we got the Titans and Bills on Monday Night Football. Titans surprisingly lost to the Giants off a missed field goal and lost at the end of the game 21-20, and the Bills took it to the Los Angeles Rams on opening night. That's why I'm taking the Bills here by a decently wide margin. I think they get the job done, win 34-20, and Josh Allen has another great game, gets the Bills 2-0, and the Titans drop to 0-2. And over here, you got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. I hope the Cardinals win as much as I want them to. I'm still going to have to take the Raiders. I wouldn't be that surprised if the Cardinals maybe won, but I'm taking Las Vegas final score 28-25. Yeah, I just think that Derek Carr, Devontae Adams matchup is going to be really good. They'll have a bounce back game, and the Cardinals got killed at the Chiefs at home, and their defense is going to have a really hard time stopping Devontae Adams in that Raiders offense. Then next up, you got the Bengals and the Cowboys. I originally took the Cowboys here, but I think the Bengals will have a big bounce back game. Cowboys don't even have Dak Prescott for a few weeks, so that's why I think the Bengals win by a wide margin. Final score is 31-17. They'll get to that Cowboys offense, and Joe Burrow will have a big bounce back game. Then on the NFC side, the first matchup is the Buccaneers at the Saints. This is an interesting matchup. You'd think you'd take the Buccaneers, but the Saints have won like 4 straight regular season games against Tom Brady. They've played really good defense against him. That's why I'm taking the Saints at home here. I think they'll lock down Brady again in this matchup. Final score is at the Saints winning 27-20 in a tight, contested game. Next up, we got the Panthers at the Giants. This is a really hard one to predict. Could definitely go either way, but I'm going to take the Giants here. I like the way Saquon looked week 1. Daniel Jones didn't look bad. Final score, I have the Giants winning 27-21 on a close game coming down to the wire. Next up, we got Washington at the Lions. Washington and Carson Wentz didn't look bad week 1. They, came back against the Jaguars in a back-and-forth battle. And neither did the Lions. They put up a good fight against the Eagles in a high-scoring game. This is another really tough game to predict. And I'm going to take Washington here. I kind of changed this. I originally picked Lions to win at home, but I'm going to take Washington in a final score of 26-23. I think it'll come down to a game-winning field goal, and the Lions will come up just short. I think Washington is playing for more this season for possibly a playoff spot, too. Next matchup, you got the Falcons taking on the Rams. I think the Rams definitely bounce back and win by a huge margin here. Final score is 41-24. Falcons didn't look bad against the Saints week 1. They looked a lot better than I thought they would. And Rams looked terrible week 1 against the Rams, but I think this is where Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp both bounce back. Seahawks taking on the 49ers. Seahawks got a surprising win over the Broncos, and the 49ers got a surprising loss against the Bears. Geno Smith did look really good against Denver, and the 49ers, Trey Lance didn't look good his first start, and, they still are bound to have a really good year, the 49ers, and they're supposed to have a better year than the Seahawks. So that's why I'm taking San Francisco at home here. I think they bounce back and win 26-17. Then the Sunday night matchup, we got the Bears heading into Green Bay to take on the Packers. Bears, like I said, got a surprising win week 1 over the 49ers, and the Packers lost week 1 to the Vikings, which I actually predicted to happen. But this is where Aaron Rodgers bounces back. He always beats the Bears, and that's why I have the Packers winning this game. Final score 34-17. I think he picks apart the Bears' defense, and Justin Fields has a rough day against that Packers defense. Then the Monday night matchup, or the Monday night before the Titans-Bills game, you got the Vikings taking on the Eagles in Philadelphia. This is a really tough game to predict. Both teams 1-0. Both teams look really good week 1. And honestly, in a really good game, I'm going to take the Eagles at home here. I think Jalen Hurts just outplays Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson in that offense. Final scores, I have the Eagles winning 34-31 in a high-scoring game. And that's how the standings will look. After week 2, have the Jaguars in first place. The Chargers at 1-1, Browns, Ravens 2-0, Steelers 2-0, the Bills and Chiefs at 2-0. And then on this side, I have the Giants at a playoff spot 2-0, so is Washington at 2-0. Saints leading their division, Vikings leading their division over the Packers, and the Packers barely have a playoff spot. But yeah, that's it for my week 2 predictions. Like, subscribe, comment on who you think's gonna win week 2. And yeah, I'm Chris Romeo, and that's good Denver.